the place where the sun dies each evening, west of the Nile, beyond the green, there lies a valley carved from limestone in secrecy. The ancient Egyptians called it the resting place of kings. We remember it for golden mass, the shimmer of buried empires, and for whispers, curses, and the sounds of footsteps where no living thing should walk. Tonight, we descend into the Valley of the Kings, not for treasure, but for testimony, for warnings etched in pigment and prayer, for shadows that cling to walls painted 3,000 years ago. What really haunts this valley? A myth made by newspapers? Or voices of an afterlife the pharaohs prepared with terrifying precision? Seal your light. Mind your breath, and if you hear chanting in the dark, don't answer. The valley sits in the Theban necropolis, on the Nile's west bank, opposite ancient Luxor. Here the New Kingdom pharaohs traded monumental pyramids for invisibility, hidden chambered tombs cut into living rock. The mountain above, El Corn, the peak shaped like a natural pyramid, watched over it all like a stone sentinel. These tombs weren't just graves. They were machines for immortality, walls flooded with spells from the Book of the Dead, the Amduat, and the Book of the Gates, cosmic maps to guide the king throughout night's 12 hours, past serpents and lakes of fire, to be reborn with the sun god at dawn. If a place is designed to hold a soul between worlds, what lingers when the living break the seal? 1922. Howard Carter breaks through the plastered door of a small, unassuming tomb. KV-62, Tutankhamun. The world explodes with gold, and then the world discovers a new gold, a story it cannot stop telling, the Curse of the Pharaohs. When Lord Carnarvon, Carter's patron, dies in 1923 after a mosquito bite turned septic, newspapers roar. The dead king has taken revenge. Lights flicker in Cairo. Is it Tutankhamun who snuffed them out? A dog howls and dies in England at the same moment. So the stories say. Coincidence becomes ritual. Accident becomes omen. The curse is born. Skeptics point to toxins, sealed in molds, bad air, and the dangerous logistics of early excavation. Believers point to patterns, illnesses, accidents, sudden declines among those who linger too long in the tombs. But the curse's true power isn't a body count. It's atmosphere, the way your lungs tighten when the passage narrows, the way your lamp sputters as if something is breathing back. On the door lintel of more than one tomb, invocations, not tourist warnings, but sacred contracts, spells, modern eyes brush aside. What if we're the ones who misread the terms? Ask around long enough in Luxor, and the stories find you. Guides, guards, archaeologists, restorers, people who've paid their lives to these walls and who keep a private ledger of things that shouldn't be. A night guard on rotation between KV-5 and KV-7 swears he heard sandals scuffing behind him. He turns. Nothing. He walks. The steps match him. Closer. Then stopping when he stops. He radios, embarrassed. Another guard answers. You get used to them. A conservator cataloging pigment samples hears a dry voice say her name twice. When she snaps her head up, a flake of blue falls from the ceiling like ash. The sample beside her reads Egyptian blue. Fiber optic glow under infrared. She decides to take her break outside with the sun. A driver on the road to the valley in the pre-dawn sees a jackal standing dead center of the path, unblinking. It doesn't move until he stops completely. Then it turns and pads toward the desert, looking back once as if to say, "Follow if you dare." Are these tales proof? No, but they're consistent. Footsteps without bodies, names spoken in the dark, animals appearing like omen, and always the feeling of being watched by something that knows ritual better than you do. The ancients engineered experience. Tombs are precision devices for fear and comfort, a choreography of darkness, light, color, and words meant to guide a soul through cosmic bureaucracy, but the effect works on the living too. Long descending corridors stabilize temperature and concentrate sound. Your footsteps ricochet, lagging behind you like an invisible companion. Vaulted chambers amplify the tiniest exhale. The mind writes ghosts where acoustics do the rest. Pigments like Egyptian blue re-emit light in the infrared. Under certain lamps and camera sensors, figures hum with a ghostly aura. Imagining entering with a flicker of flame, seeing color pulse from darkness, you'd swear the walls were waking. Spells are not decorations. The dead king navigates gates guarded by knife-wielding deities who punish liars and devour hearts. Every line is a directive, a password, an instruction, read aloud, and you've participated. You've pressed a button on a 3 millennia old machine. Inside the sealed chamber, fungi proliferates, air goes stale, particulates hang. The first breath inside an unventilated tomb can tighten the chest, sting eyes, twist the gut. A psychological curse that feels supernatural even before the legend arrives. Not all tombs are equal in the ledger of strange reports. Some have reputations. KV-62 Tutankhamun, the nexus of the modern curse narrative. Beyond Carnarvon's death, visitors describe sudden nausea in the antechamber, shortness of breath near the nested shrines, and an unmistakable prickle in the burial chamber, especially when lamps are low. A skeptic will say suggestion, a believer will call it recognition. KV-5, the Sons of Ramses II. Once dismissed as a minor, KV-5 is a labyrinth. Dozens of rooms for the sons of a king who fathered a dynasty. Work here has carried rumors of disorientation, lost time, and voices in side corridors that end abruptly in solid rock. KV-35, Amenhotep II, the royal cache. Found with reburied royal mummies, some custodians speak of oppressive weight in the air, like standing behind a closed door while someone breathes on the other side. Others report silence so thick it becomes a sound of its own. KV-34, Tutmos III. High on the hillside, dramatic and steep, the walls feature stick-figure deities in black star fields. Minimalist, severe. Visitors often use the same word, cosmic. Some feel watched by constellations. Others say the stars feel too low, like a sky pressing down. KV-9, Ramses V and VI. One of the most visually overwhelming tombs. Its ceiling shows the sky goddess arching over a universe of symbols. Reports cluster around sudden cold drafts, impossible in a sealed tunnel, in a sense of moving under a river, as if it is just above. We owe the truth its due. Much of what feels paranormal has natural roots. Bad air, microbiological hazards, infrasound from wind coursing through fissures, the brain's pattern hunger in low light, the power of a story to prime our senses, modern conservation standards, ventilation, protective gear, strict access target exactly these. And yet the residue remains. The feeling of intelligence in the quiet, names spoken in a voice you almost know, animals that stare too long in a place that should be empty. Maybe the ancients orchestrated it that way, to transform any intrusion into ritual, to make even a skeptic a participant in the afterlife of kings. We came here for a curse. We found something stranger, a system for remembering the dead, so intensely that the living feel remembered back. The Valley of the Kings is not just a cemetery, it is a conversation, one etched in stars and spells, in silence and stone. If you ever walk these corridors, you will add your breath to 1,000 others. You will cast a shadow where torches once roared, and perhaps, if you are very quiet, you will hear someone ahead of you, turning the last corner, just out of sight. If you follow gently. If this journey into Egypt's haunted heart chilled you, like this video, subscribe for more deep dive dark history and true mystery documentaries, and share it with someone who'd brave the underworld by lamplight. Drop your wildest ancient Egypt story or your own unexplainable experience in the comments. Which tomb should we descend into next?